if you were to do, I'm trying to think of something that'd be interesting, like if you were building something in like the Brian Johnson, like don't die human longevity space, like let's just say like delayed release caffeine pills, because my friend started taking them recently to wake up at 5 a.m. and he loves it.
Shit.
What is like the thought process that goes into like building something like that?
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a cool project. First we see like who is targeting. So let's just assume it's targeting like founders, and it's really around that like don't die, don't die kind of narrative. Because I think the simple approach is like kind of like what Superpower is doing, where they kind of went in this like cool sauna vibe, like sauna in like 2095. That's what it kind of feels like, Superpowered. And
Interesting.
yeah.
And Superpower is like a health tech longevity
Yeah.
startup for people that don't know.
Yeah, Superpower just nailed their brand in that. And I actually wrote a blog on like just how they built the virtual world. So it's really interesting. Like they took like, it doesn't even feel like a brand. Like you can obviously tell like the colors and typography, but there's just something kind of in the air that ties the brand together. And I think that's what the best brands are. So they've kind of been able to, again, that's what I call it, like the 2095 sauna vibe. And they're able to like kind of show that on the website, the brand, even like social material and stuff like that. Well, what's on the top of my mind is like we branded like kind of like the Avatar movie, where it just feels like, well, this is like mumbo jumbo, but what I'm initially trying to say is like the Avatar movie is like there's this guy who just gets connected to this pod, and now when he wakes up, there's this like other creature, like the blue creature. He has like 10 times more energy, 10 times taller, more athletic, etc. So I just want to like convey that vibe where you start at like this mad level and then you kind of go into like this superhuman level.
You should call the pill Superhuman.
Yeah, that should be the name. And then maybe like the branding could be like, yeah, kind of like gradients and blue. But yeah, that's just like the overall idea. I don't know how it would be visually.
Like, how do you even decide what something would look like visually?
Well, the first thing is like we talk about like in conversation, and we talk about what it should feel like. And as I said, like this, it should feel like Avatar. Right? And now from there we can go in a rabbit hole. We can look into movie references. We can look into in photography that they've done. We can look into a bunch of bullshit. We can put a mood board together, and then from there we can find ideas. I think it'd be a fun exercise to kind of do that. Like start with just a conversation, and then like I'll do a mood board, and then from there we can kind of actually build a brand. So yeah, that could actually be a cool idea.
That's dope. Okay, and then we've done a consumer app, we've done a CPG product. The third thing that would be interesting is if you were to go and try to rebrand like a venture capital firm or like a venture fund.
Right.
How would you go about doing it? Because everyone says some version of we back bold founders, investing at the cutting edge. Like, yeah, it's like the same like 6-0-1, whatever. Future favors the bold, whatever it is. So like, how would you go about doing a venture fund that like sounded interesting and unique?
Yeah, well, this is actually a great question because we work with a lot of venture funds, and this is the problem statement that they come up with. Like everybody's messaging is the same. Like we back founders at the intersection of design and technology. Like I don't know, some bullshit. The messaging is always the same. So this one venture fund that we worked with, Black Jays, kind of came with a similar problem, and the solution was kind of just defining what's special about them. And after some conversation, the answer was family tech. And what that means is like they make tech for the needs of the modern family. So we kind of looked at their portfolio. We see who they invest in. We see the space that they're interested in. And they invest in like companies that are making like diapers and bed sheets and toothpaste and stuff like that. And it all just kind of makes sense that this is all around the family side of things. So we approached the whole brand starting with this is the fun investing in the modern needs of the family. And then once the messaging is clear, the visual identity is just like it's almost like solving a puzzle. So now we know what we're doing. We worked with this illustrator who kind of showed their actual product in use in this illustration style. So it was like this really cool line illustration style. and then the website ended up becoming super unique, and we did like a photography session for them. So it became like this brand surrounded by family and the whole like kind of the complex and chaotic structure of a family. So with the images, this would make a lot more sense, but that's what kind of the approach.